I got the COVID vaccination about a week ago now. I will look for my card. Where is my card? Let me get my card real quick. If this is in focus. It was on the 6th of January, right? And I didn't make this video for a week because I just wanted everything to die down, and like it's like been a week, more than a week. But like you guys had a lot of questions about like what's going on, how am I feeling? So I'm just gonna bash through every single question. Some of your questions were similar, so I'm just gonna group them up into groups, some of them, and then some of them are special, so you know they'll get special treatment. Alright, without no further ado, let's get started with the questions. So this is a sweet one. I'll start with this. Ashley, Mars, and Taddy were like, do you feel any physical difference, physically or mentally, and are you genuinely okay? I appreciate that, guys. I'm perfectly fine. From what I understand and feel, I feel completely normal. And yeah. Nyash and underscore Mook263 said, why did you get it? Why did you do it? Was it mandatory? No. I don't think vaccinations are ever mandatory for anything, unless if you need to get into a specific post or job. So it was completely optional. Why did I get it? Because there's a global pandemic and people dying of COVID-19, and there was a vaccination and I had the chance to get it, so I got vaccinated. What superpower are you gonna get from the vaccine, do you think? So, I think I've actually figured out one of my superpowers. I'll show you now. So like, there's this thing that I realize keeps happening, right? It's like when I want to reach for something, it like kind of teleports to me. It's kind of crazy. Now, there's a bottle of water over there, right? I'm literally looking at it, watch this. See? Oh, this is good. So from Terena? I don't know, I don't want to mispronounce that. Long story short is, had you done research on the vaccine you got prior to getting it? King_Waz was like, how much research and medical advice did you seek before reaching your decision? And MV_PI, why did you choose the Pfizer vaccine specifically and not the other? So I'll answer the research questions first. Yes, I did my research on this vaccination. Simply because I actually did more research than usual because of the amount of conspiracies that were there, and I found everything to be, airtight. The studies they did, the trials. If you actually want to look into COVID, you can go online, and I mean the COVID vaccine rather. You can go online and you can like look into these studies, right? They're literally airtight, and all the information is there. There's full research papers. If you want to look into the numbers, the probabilities of every single side effects are there, and the amount of people that were in the study for each vaccine that they put out. So yeah, the studies, I mean the trials were good. They were airtight, and it was effective. And yeah, I did my research. I also contacted a few doctors I know, but some of them already had the vaccine, so it was kind of like, just go get it. But yeah, I didn't choose the Pfizer one, to be specific. There was a COVID-19 vaccination available, and from my area, the Pfizer one is the one that's available at the moment, so that's why I got the Pfizer one. Score.TKTCammer, I don't know. Does it mean you're completely safe from COVID? Question. And then Trey06 said, is this vaccine a one-time permanent solution to COVID or short time? And then Vimbai.x, are you likely to get infected with the virus during the wait between the first and second dose? That's a good thing. So let me explain this whole dosage thing with COVID. So I'll explain it this way. When you get your first vaccination, your first dose, this is to do with the Pfizer one specifically, after 10 to 14 days, you become 89% immune to COVID-19, right? And then from that period until the next dose, which is usually, so there's a gap between the first and second dose. Usually it's a 10 to 12 week gap. It's supposed to be shorter, but then there's not enough supply, so they've spread out the time between the first and second dose so that more people can get the first dose and have some immunity, and then people get the second dose. After the second dose, you will be 95 to 99% immune to COVID-19. 95 to 99 being the fact that there's other variants, and then you can be 95% immune to the other variant. I think I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is it. Yes, you can still get infected with COVID in the time that you're waiting, simply because you're not 100% immune, right? You're only 89% immune. So you can get infected with COVID in the time between your first vaccination and the 10 to 14 days that you gain immunity, and you can still get it from the first dose to the second dose. You can still get it after the second dose because, like I said, you're only 95 to 99% immune. There's still that 1 to 5% chance. It's very minimal if you think about it, but the chance is still there. So yeah, I hope that explains it to some extent. I hope I'm being clear about it, but yeah. So Aymara and Malone, these guys, I actually know them. They're both medical students, and here they are. Aymara said, does a vaccine give you protection against 5G? And Malone said, you got 5G. Yeah, sure. That Simbamtasa.7 said, have the side effects kicked in yet? I Am Welly Jr. said, any side effects? I've been seeing people crawling on walls after taking the vaccine. Oh, have you? T. Maisha, why do you take it, and are you feeling any side effects? So with this one, I'm going to be completely honest. I got the vaccination at about 1 p.m. In fact, the time is here. I'm not going to lie. At 3 p.m., 3:25 p.m., right? On the 6th. And it was no pain really. I didn't really feel anything. And then I went home. I went to sleep that day. It was completely fine. I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. And they keep you there for 15 minutes as well. So that's that. Yeah, I was okay on that day, and then I went to sleep. I was fine. I woke up the next day. In fact, I'm lying. That day in the evening, I started getting a fever. Right, I never get fevers from vaccine because I've had vaccinations before for occupational health last year, and this was like 3 to 5 of them, like Hep B and measles, stuff like that. I got vaccinations and I was fine. So I started getting a fever and I was bursting it over like, okay. And then I started getting like back pain and body aches, and I was like, I was firming it, like it's nothing crazy, but like I was like, okay, I'm not well. I'm getting side effects. And it wasn't too great. I'll be completely honest, it wasn't great, but it was nothing like crazy. It was nothing hectic, but I did have like a fever and I did have back pain. I actually still got to sleep because my back was just in pain. I was like, yo, what's going on with my back? Then I woke up the next day, then I had a headache in the morning. I didn't go out that day, I just chilled and I slept. I was really just tired. So yeah, that was pretty much it for that day. And then after that, I was completely back to normal. And I was actually laughing. I was like, well, I actually didn't get side effects. You will get side effects, but it's just for a day, and they're nothing too, too scary. Like I didn't wake up stuck to the ceiling or climbing on walls or anything. Just Simeon said, personally, I feel as if the vaccine was rushed. I would take it, but more extensive research is needed. Yeah, I think it's good to remember, like when you say it's rushed, right? Yes, the vaccination was produced or like was worked on in a hurry because of the urgency that's there, right? And the fact that it came so quickly, or I don't know if you would call that quickly, I don't think it's quick, but like it actually, because we've been in this situation for a long time and the vaccine's only coming now. It's been more than a year since COVID really like started, so it's been about like they've been working on it for north of 6 months, and with the technology that's there today, right, I don't think it was rushed. I think they did it in time, and they used everything they had in their power, all the new resources that are there, because it's 2021, right? So the technology is there. More research is needed. I don't think they can do more research immediately, unless if you want them to give it to 5 people and then wait 10 years to see what the effect was. That's not really like feasible. I think the fact that they've done it on these large groups of people and they've waited to see what the side effects are in a decent amount of time. That's as much research as we need at the moment, because we can't wait 10 years for research results, because that's how research works. I hope that's what you're referring to. What made you qualify to be in the first group to be vaccinated? That was Menashe, and then MV_P. I don't know how to say that. Is it easily accessible to everyone? And then Mr. J Mag said availability. So yeah, I am grateful and lucky to be in a group that is a priority for vaccination, simply because I'm a medical student and I go on placement, which is in hospital or GP surgeries or primary care centers. So I am basically termed as a frontline worker, because I'm always in these high risk situations. I may or may not interact with people who potentially have COVID, which is why I'm in that group. Other people in that group, elderly people, people with comorbidities like the usuals, hypertension, diabetics, people who have cancer, the lot, or like heart disease. Those people are in the high risk group. So they've been prioritized by the government. The good news, however, is that by the 15th of Feb, I think the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, I think that's his name. Give me a sec. Is that his name? Yeah, Matt Hancock. This guy is a hero. I think he's personally dealing with COVID as best as he can. But anyway, on the 15th of February, they aim to have vaccinated everyone in the high-risk group, and then they can start making it available to the general public. So yeah, that's basically why I got it now. But hang tight, they'll be there. Oh, good question. Yemi said, how do you go about getting registered to receive the vaccine? Toriro said, did they approach you to take the vaccine? Like, how do you go about getting it? Man Like Tab said, is the vaccine available for mass consumption in UK, or you were given privately? So basically how it works is, for us at least, you get an email from your it's not really from the school, it's like from your placement people. It'll be an NHS email, that's all I know. And it'll say you're being offered the COVID vaccination. It's completely optional. Please book a slot to get your vaccination. It's literally that simple. So I think when it's available to everyone, you will get like a text from the NHS or your local GP saying, here's a link, book your vaccination. If not, I'm sure you can approach your local GP and they'll sort that out for you. King West said, can you still feel the arm? And Dr.H.R. Wait till that sore arm sits in. Yeah, I was underestimating it. A bit of a late warning, doc, but yeah. That your arm will definitely, it'll feel like someone punched you. It'll feel like someone punched you for a day. For like a good day, or you'll feel it. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna feel that, but yeah. So Mish, I said, does it have the chip thing? Drudizy said, how does it feel to have dragon chip inside you? It's actually not bad, hey, cause I'm like connected to my phone and my computer, and like I basically never get lost, and if I get kidnapped, they can find me. Yeah. No, I'm joking. There is no chip. I don't believe there's a chip inside the vaccination. If you actually think about it, I wish I had a needle to show you what a vaccine needle looks like. If you're telling me they've crafted some kind of microchip that fits inside that tiny ball, I don't know what kind of technology they're using these days. Yeah, I think that conspiracy specifically is a bit of a reach. But you know, you can believe what you want, to be honest. Yeah, you can believe what you want. How much is it? MV_PI said, how much is it? In the UK, the NHS provides free healthcare for everyone in the country, so I didn't pay anything. No one will pay anything in the UK, unless maybe if you're doing it privately, for some unknown reason, you pay, but like, as far as I know, there's no one paying. Libro Chill said, do you feel like you're invincible? I want to say not yet, because it hasn't been long enough for me to have that 95, but I feel like when I have that 95% immunity, which will be 10 weeks from now, even like just 2 weeks, and so in a week or so when I'm like almost 90% immune, I think I'll have like a sense of security, like when I'm going around in hospital, whatever. Like I'll feel a bit better about, you know, being out there. Invincible, I don't know about invincible. I don't know about invincible, but yeah. Billy_Mujana said, so in 5 years time, are you 100% sure you'll still be good? This is a good question, right? But one thing I think people don't think about is that as babies, as infants, we were all vaccinated. Well, most of us were vaccinated, and I said this on my Instagram the other day. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, by the way. Most of us, 90% I think, this is just like a number I'm throwing up. 90% of us were actually vaccinated as infants, as babies, against measles, TB, rubella, polio, stuff like that. So you didn't really question vaccinations then. So why are you suddenly questioning the vaccination now? I think I know one of the reasons why. It's because of all the internet conspiracies and the fact that it's a new modern day thing. But like, yeah, even today, babies who are born are still getting vaccinated just for different diseases. So I think the fact that this is COVID, maybe that's why people are starting to think there might be something else to it. But honestly, the answer is I don't know. We don't have the data how people are going to be 5 years from now. But at the same time, when other vaccinations were made, they didn't have data for the future, right? They knew what the immediate effects were and how effective it was at fighting what it was made to fight. So I think that is what we should be focusing on now, instead of, you know, these conspiracies were made by people who have, like, most of them I know, don't even have qualification. They're not medical scientists, they're not medical doctors, they're not research experts, they're not qualified to even comment on this. Maybe if like a lot of people who are in the medical field or like the medical research field were saying this is a bit risky, then we'd be speaking. But if it's just some, you know, nonsense, I would call it, most of it is that's spread by, you know, these people on social media. I don't think it's worth, you know, skipping the vaccine for that reason and putting yourself at risk of getting COVID. Callum_Ian_Davis said, how long till one comes to Zim, and if it's coming, is it actually worth taking? So I unfortunately can't say. If you don't know this, I'm from Zimbabwe. That's why this is being asked to me, but I don't know. Hopefully soon the vaccine should be available there, but I don't know. But if it does come, I personally think it's worth it. _Nyat said, dog, just give me your honest opinion on this. Would you let your family take it? Yeah, honestly, like, if I could get the vaccination to my family, I definitely would. All the people I care about, everyone, I think if it could get to everyone, you know, I would be very happy. I wish I could, you know, get to my family. It's like every single day I have to wake up and, you know, be stressing about them. But yeah, like I've said in some of the questions I've explained, you know, it's just, I think it's worth it. When are you turning into a zombie? We'll still see. It's been a week. I'll do an update again soon, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. See what happens. Do you think it'll put an end to this mess? Honestly, I think the vaccination is that big break that we need. Will it put an end to it? Possibly, but I don't think it's just about the vaccination. Like I said, it's not foolproof. It's 95%, which is very, very significant protection. But it's also about people and their attitudes towards, you know, COVID. Last but not least, I've got Mr. Maniqua, who said, how does it taste? The vaccination is administered as an injection. So if you do taste something when you do get a vaccination, I think you should tell the person who's giving you that vaccine so that they can. Thank you guys for staying to the end of the video. If you did, I hope you learned something. I hope you benefited. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you liked it. It will help a lot of people, and it will tell YouTube that, look, this is informative. People that can learn about what the COVID vaccination is about. It's been nice. Stay moving, stay booming.